What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Fallout video, and I'm bringing you episode 37 of our top 5 mods series. So if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and let's get right into it.
I with my 2 fists divine, but I'm going nowhere. Oh yeah, I'm the type of guy that likes to roam around.
Alright everybody, so the first mod we have is Little Boy by Captain Forge, and this is going to be basically a modded weapon that's going to be added into Fallout 4. That's going to be located at Vault 111, behind the little guard station where the button is for the vault to go down. There's going to be a little table behind that little stand, and the little boy is going to be on top of that. So as you can see, I'm at Vault 111 right here. Just go to your right from the vault, and right here behind the little stand, there's going to be the little boy right here. And this is going to be basically just a modified Fat Man with a powerful shot. It shoots 4 projectiles at a time, so that means it's going to be shooting 4 mini nukes at a time. So as you can imagine, there's going to be a pretty big explosion whenever these things go off. I'll be demonstrating the weapon in a second, but I feel like I need to go over a few things first. First, this weapon is going to be modifiable at a weapons workbench, obviously just because it's basically a Fat Man. There's not really going to be much you can add to it, but the 4 shots at a time is an insane shot. As you can see right here, I'm about to shoot it, and it just creates a huge explosion. I would sort of compare it to the experimental MIRV launcher that you can actually get that shoots 2 projectiles at a time, but in this case it's going to be shooting double that, so obviously the explosion is going to be much greater. The one thing about this weapon is you can kill yourself very easily, and I just kind of shoot at things farther distance. Enemies at close range have a very big chance of killing you just because the blast radius is pretty great if you're a lower level and don't have much health or don't have much armor. But this mod is basically going to be compatible with every other mod you're going to be using. It doesn't really affect much. It's just a little gun you could add into your game for fun. It's not necessarily the most practical weapon, but it's still fun to use sometimes and just blow things up. If you have a huge base full of super mutants or something, it's really easy to clear a whole place very, very quickly with this weapon. Also, there's not going to be any DLC required for this weapon as well, so overall, it's going to be a pretty versatile mod that anyone can use, and I guess it's just a fun little weapon you can add into your game if you want. Alright guys, so the first one I'm showing you is the second version of the Ballistic Realism Overhaul mod, and if you're not familiar with what the first one did, it basically just overhauls all of Fallout 4's weapons, armors, factions, leveling, HP, perks, creatures, loots, and pretty much everything in the game. Ballistic Realism Overhaul has been redesigned from the ground up to fully reimagine how the mod can be played. This time around the light of Fallout 76. He felt it was necessary to bring you a new experience, but still, bound by the simple structure of the first mod that he created. The idea is simple, and it basically brings a more strategic experience, leaving the player to make many choices that actually have made a big impact on how you play. The implementation of risk versus reward demonstrates how simple yet complex this mod can be. Now let's get into some of the stats of the weapons and other NPCs. Weapon damage. Guns do 200 to 1800 plus damage. This does not mean you will one-shot everything, but it does mean that there's not going to be any more bullet-sponging enemies that just take hundreds of rounds to actually kill them. Now, for weapon upgrades, upgrading your weapons do change gameplay. At first, the game may seem difficult. Once you start to upgrade your weapons and armor, you truly are a force to be reckoned with. Now for the changes made to NPCs. All human NPCs have been overhauled to die realistically by 1 to 2 shots, however, this is without armor. Depending on the armor of the NPC, this will determine how much HP they have, and if the NPC is a full combat armor, expect a difficult fight, but if the NPC has just a shirt on jeans, basically you're just going to kill them in 1 to 2 shots, depending on how powerful your weapon is. Creatures of the Commonwealth have specific buffs to make them a more fun of an experience. Ghouls are stupid, and now they will attack anything on sight, even themselves. He also did mess around with the whole looting system into Fallout 4 and made it more into a dynamic loot system that actually can be pretty beneficial to most players to allow you to get a lot of loot, but also making it not super overpowered and boring. He made some items more rare and other items less rare, basically just changing the percentage-wise of items that come into different boxes that you find throughout the game. If you're interested in the percentage changes of these mods, you can just look in the description of his mod list on the Bethesda.net website. All the links to these mods will be in the description. And finally, this mod is not going to be requiring any DLC, which is also just always a big plus for mods like this, because a lot of times when these mods overhaul the whole game, they do require most DLC. So in this case, you're going to be good. Also, it's going to be pretty much compatible with every other mod in the game, but I would stay away from mods similar to this one that do change weapon stats and NPC stats and just all that type of stuff that's also affected in this mod, because I don't know how this mod reacts whenever it conflicts with another mod of similar scripts and things like that. But overall, it's a pretty decent mod. Alright everybody, the next mod we have is Sanctuary Estates, the Institute version for the PS4, and this is going to be by Mad Rocks. And this mod is essentially just a complete overhaul of Sanctuary with a more Institute and clean version of Sanctuary. Some important things to keep in mind with this mod is to fast travel to Concord when you first load into this game, just because things need to load into the game, so if you fast travel straight to Sanctuary, you're going to have a lot of frame rate issues, especially since you're on PS4. Also, you're going to want to load a save that does not have anything built. I loaded into one of my saves, actually had a whole bunch of structures and other types of things built in Sanctuary. If you have those in your game, you're going to have a lot of clipping issues with buildings going through other buildings. It's just going to be a huge mess. So you kind of just want to have Sanctuary just be a clean, unmodified Sanctuary. And there is a showcase of this trailer on Mad Rocks' channel. I'm going to be showing a short clip of that here in a second, but if you guys do want to see the whole trailer, the link will be in the description along with all the other links to the other mods I showed in this video. This mod is going to be 100% DLC free, and as it goes for the mod compatibility, it's going to be pretty much compatible with other mods you're going to be using, except for anything that's pretty much at Sanctuary. So anything besides that, you're going to have to like mess with the load order a lot. It's just kind of weird because if you have obviously structures that are going to be built as Sanctuary that have other mods involved, obviously there's going to be clipping issues and other issues, so you're just going to have to experiment with yourself on this one. But he did say that there are other faction variants coming in the future. The next mod I'm showing is the Better Synth Relay Grenades mod for the PS4, and this is going to be by Stiff Wood. And this mod is essentially adding in the ability for new synth relay grenades to be crafted at a chemistry workbench. Now, the different varieties of what you can actually craft is actually pretty big. You can craft the Gen 1 synths, Gen 2, Gen 3, all the way up to a Institute Power Armor donning Gen 2's Eradicator's Power Armor. There's also going to be coursers and gorillas that spawn with these grenades as well, if you do wish to craft them. Original grenades are left alone so that coursers don't throw the new versions, and coursers and assaulters now sneak with the player, and coursers are better at sneaking than assaulters. This feature is only available with the no squad version, so when you do have these guys, they will follow you around and basically be your companions, and a lot of them actually are very, very powerful, considering ones with power armor, and coursers are generally pretty powerful as well. He also did add in the experimental Institute shock rifle as a new weapon for the Eradicators, and it is basically just an explosive laser rifle. The shock rifle is available to purchase from an Institute vendor, and ammo can be crafted at a workbench. And just like the original grenades, synths are only allied with the player making them, so they only attack whoever attacks you. But this mod does not require any DLC, so that is also a plus, and it's going to be pretty much compatible with every other mod you're going to be using. It's not really the biggest mod, but it does add in a few cool grenades and different varieties of grenades that you can actually use if you are allied with the Institute or just really enjoy playing with the Institute. It's a really cool mod to add into your game. Alright everybody, the final mod I have to show you is the Workshop Torrent Pack by Aslim, and this is going to be a mod that adds in a lot more buildable turrets to the workshop, including a Mark 1, Mark 3, Mark 5, and Mark 7 turrets, and a lot of these turrets can also have different variants as well. Some of them will shoot plasma and different like bubbles and different things like that. Just a ton of different creative new styles for the turrets. Obviously, as the marks go up, the more damage and the more defense they actually actually do produce. It goes all the way up to the launcher turret, which will shoot mini nukes at one point, so you do want to be careful with some of these. They can really affect some of your settlements, and make sure that the collateral damage isn't going to be killing your settlers as well. And there's really not much else to this mod. It's just going to be a mod that adds in a ton of different turrets, but it's still really cool if you are into building settlements and making really big extravagant bases with a ton of defense, with different varieties of turrets, and this is just a really good mod if you're into that kind of stuff, which I am. So this mod does not require any DLC or anything like that, and it's going to be pretty much compatible with every mod you're going to be using. Maybe some turret mods are going to mess with it a little bit, but for the most part, you're going to be good. So that is pretty much all I have for you today, guys. If you guys did enjoy this mod review, make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.